Welcome to another episode of Tesse Talks. And this episode, we are continuing the series of Childhood to Champion. This is the second episode in the series. In the first series, Tesse took us from her days in Northern Ireland to when she gets to West Africa, Nigeria in particular, and starts at the grammar school St. Maria Goretti in Benin City. There she meets her childhood friend, Paula Okone, me, and we meet in Form 3. Today, her story will pick up from there.
So I left Form 3, went home to my parents, and they say, "Daughter, it's time for you now to do your GCSEs." So I start studying my GCSEs and I rejoin class 4. But in Form 4 at St. Maria Goretti, I sit my GCSEs and I get 6 subjects in my GCSEs O levels. Yeah, and when I did that, my mom and dad said, you still have to do your WAEC, which is your West Africa O levels. And so I did that and I got 7 subjects there. So I left with a handful of subjects and I decided that I would do my A levels, but I'll do my A levels part time in University of Benin, which had an A level section. So I'd do that, and then I would also work in the with my father's projects, which I actually did. And a year later, when I had turned 16, I did an entry exam and was accepted in the University of Ife to study law. So I studied law when I was 16, starting with humanities. So I studied philosophy and other humanitarian subjects. And then in year 2, the second year, I started law proper, contract, tort, all the others. And I was very lucky in my first year to do so well, and I got a scholarship. So for the rest of my time in University of Ife, I was on scholarship, which, give my parents a bit of relief not to pay big school fees, etc., etc. And have a bursary and scholarship meant that they didn't have to worry about me financially. So at the age of 20, I finished my degree in law and I went to law school and I sat my law exams in law school to become a Bachelor of Laws, which would enable me to practice in in a legal firm. So I actually finished my law degree and my actual qualification to be a barrister solicitor when I was 21. So by this time, I was very grounded academically in terms of the subjects, etc. But I had to learn how to live life. Now, Nigeria being what it is, we have and still is still there called the National Youth Service Corps. So I left law school and went for my National Youth Service Corps, which was in Ibadan, which is in the west part of Nigeria. And I was very fortunate to be accepted to teach the law of tort in University of Ibadan in for the tutorial sessions. And I enjoyed that and loved that and did that for a whole year. After that year, I went back to Lagos and my life in Lagos began in real practice. And I'll be talking about that in the next part. But in these years between the ages of 13 to 21, I really began to learn how to live with my parents. Because if you remember, I hadn't been with my parents between the ages of 6 to 10. So I had to learn how to mom and dad all over again. Had to learn how to live with my brothers who were not with us in Northern Ireland. And so for me, it was a whole process of getting to know my family and live with my family as well as to do academics and to actually understand the culture in Nigeria, which was so different from the cultural aspirations, inspirations, and other nuances in Northern Ireland. So, Paula, that's how I rolled with that one. And that covers the ages of 13 to 21.
Wow. Never ceases to amaze me and how you're able to recount these things. But as I said, there's some parts and some aspects of your life that I don't know. So in continuation with this, the next part of the series, that's the third episode, would be from 22 to
So 22 to when I came to England. So it would be until 26.
22 to 26. Looking forward to that. And, Tessie, I want to thank you for sharing with us, with me too, because I said I'm learning a lot more things about you, sharing with us your life story. There's always something that we can gain. I know I learn every single day, and I'm sure our listeners will learn as well. Again, we want to say thank you for tuning in to this episode of Tessie Talks, and in particular, this series from childhood to champion. And I hope you are just as excited as I am to see the third part of this, which will be coming up soon. Any parting words, Tessie?
Yeah, I was hoping that you would ask me parting words, and it's really an encouragement to people listening that everything counts. Everything, every step counts. And now that I'm recounting this to you, Paula, what comes into my mind is that every part of our journey makes us and shapes us to be who we are. And so it is that valuing every experiences, and whether we succeed in what we're doing or we don't do so well, it all makes us the people that we are, and it's all valuable, we're all worthwhile, and we're all cared for.
Amen to that. Thanks again.